Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. The first of what I imagine will be a couple videos uploaded tonight because it is transfer deadline day, ladies and gentlemen. It is Christmas time for football fans, and listen, I'm just like you. I'm sitting here scrolling every single minute of every single day hoping for some transfer news, but the only transfer news we've been given so far is something we're actually going to go ahead and discuss in today's video. But before we actually get there, before we actually break it down, can we just sit back and just give a sigh of relief that all that Barisic to Roma was proved to be absolute nonsense? And does that not just feel good in the plump bags, ladies and gentlemen? I told yous, nothing to worry about. Again, the same subjects coming out and saying the same stuff. It's been rubbished by Barisic's brother. It's been rubbished by that. So we can all breathe. Barisic is still going to be here. He's back. He's kissing the grunt. He's feeling happy about himself, and he'll go away with Croatia and come back as the BB. We know he can be. Slowly bees. It's the worst thing I've ever done. But right, back onto the subject of deadline day, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to make this video, and then I think I'll wait for the transfer window to slam shut and then do our traditional, what we do every single year on the channel, have the transfer deadline day recap. So we'll speak about the subjects in today's video, and then don't worry if there's going to be a couple uploaded during this or announced by Rangers after this goes up. We will make a video the second the transfer window closes, and we'll break down every little thing that happened and what will be, I imagine, a busy night. But let's start off the night properly then by speaking about the first thing that was announced during transfer deadline day, and that is none other than the Swiss Bliss himself, Mr. Cedric Itten. Which I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw it was Cedric Itten being the first bit of news to get fired out, it had me doing that gif, you know what I mean? That one when he's like, and he like double blinks. That was me, ladies and gentlemen, because I certainly didn't have a vision when the day started that it would be Itten would be the first one out the door. But when you actually take a step back and you take your heart and your soul out and you just think about it, it makes complete and utter sense. Now for me, I'm just going to be honest with you right off the bat so we know where we sit. Cedric Itten for me is a good football player that wasn't given enough opportunities, or we didn't play enough to his strengths at certain parts when he was actually on the game. But that doesn't make him a flop or that for me, because something I spoke about a lot last season is the thing that he was able to do better than anyone. He was our closer last season, ladies and gentlemen. I know that's silly to say because he's a striker, but you think of those 1-0s, the 8 or 9 1-0s that we won last season when it was nippy bum time. Who led the line? Who cleared everything? Who won cheap free kicks? Who chased the ball and who got us into the corner? It was Cedric Itten, and for me he played a massive part in the success last season. It's just unfortunate the way he played his part wasn't the part that any of us wanted it to be when we signed Cedric Itten at this point last year, ladies and gentlemen, because he was scoring goals for fun. He's a big striker, he wants to be scoring goals, but that was never his job at Rangers. His job was to be that guy in the last 10-15 minutes of the game to see things out and run his heart and soul out. So before we go anywhere, for me, Cedric Itten did exactly what he was asked to do, and he'll never ever get a bad word for me. All the time, on and off the park, full energy, fully running, gave his all. It just unfortunately didn't work out to the way we all hoped it would be. But of course he has now officially left the football club via loan, and even on Instagram, if you've seen his message, he's just filled with so much positivity and love for this football club. It just kills me that it didn't work out for the laddie. But over so far in his Rangers career, he has played 42 games in all competitions. He has scored 6 goals, majority of them versus Motherwell, I'm going to be honest with you, but he also chipped in with 3 assists as well, which again is 9 goal contributions out of 42 games, which isn't going to jump out at you and make you think, oh, that's amazing. And I'll tell you something, it might even jump the other way, because I've sat here and said he wasn't given a lot of opportunities, but you look at that, that's 42 games for this club right here, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot, but again, I think you need to look beyond the clickbait, look beyond the stats, because we know all 42 of those games certainly weren't starts. I mean, the large majority of those games were 10-15 minute cameos, again when the game was done, and that wasn't his actual role. I mean, if we look into his time at Rangers, right, he played 42 games, but in those 42 games he played 1,255 minutes, which by the way is very staunch, and I love that. But to put that into perspective, when he was a younger lad playing for Basel's under 18s, he played 14 times for them and played 1,236 minutes, and that right there puts it all into perspective in my opinion and sums up Cedric Itten's time at Rangers. There just wasn't it low yet? But that chapter is now closed for Cedric Itten. Now he gets an opportunity to go to the Bundesliga. What a chance that is. And again, it's not to a top 6 club or anything like that. It's got ambitions of Champions League or European football. He is joining a team that will be battling and trying to survive relegation. They've had a tough start to the season because they can't score enough goals, but it's almost a perfect match because we have a striker who has shown in the past he can score goals. He's dying to play, and this club that he's joining needs a goal scorer. And it's not just at club level either. By the way, let's remember that this man was leading Switzerland's goal scoring going into the Euros for qualification. Now again, it wasn't a lot of goals and it wasn't against great teams, but he was in and amongst it and he was a name on the team sheet. But because he didn't play a lot for us, he actually dropped away, and in Switzerland went on to have a fantastic Euros. But now the World Cup qualifiers are coming round the corner as well, so he'll be looking to use this loan and giving absolute everything to try and get back to where he was a year ago when he was in the old international setup. And again, I just hope he absolutely nails it, because again, there is something in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over there, rattles in a few goals, gets his stock back up there, and maybe even presses us, because I think we can all say there's a player in there. Is he ready to lead the line at Rangers now? That is the conversation. But maybe at the end of the loan, maybe after a good year of playing solid football, we can reflect and see where big Cedric is then and see if he fits into the old plans. Now, the last couple of things we need to discuss about this loan is, one, there is a recall option a part of Rangers, so we can bring him back if we need him or anything like that, because I know a lot of people's worrying about strength and depth up top for Rangers, etc, etc, but there is a recall option, so that should calm us all down in case it is of an emergency, or even if he doesn't get played enough or something goes wrong, we can always bring him back. And that, now the other one, this wasn't reported by Rangers, but it was reported in the German side of things that there's apparently an option to buy within the contract. Now I know there's a lot of rumour fees about there saying, oh, it's this much or this much, but that's all bollocks. No one actually knows how much it actually is, and they will never know, because this is Ross Wilson. He will never allow that information to go out. But the information that is out there is suggesting that if he does do well, there's an option for him to stay there if he can keep them in the top flight of German football. So the writing on the wall, unfortunately, it looks like it could be over for Big Ced. But again, I'm just going to be more optimist and hope we see him back in a Rangers shirt, because I think of that goal versus Motherwell, I think of that goal versus Leck, and I've seen the work rate. And if there's anybody you want to get behind and say, I want him to make it, it's somebody like that never moans, never complains, never downs tools. He's always just gives his best. But aye, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the first loan of the football club, and that was the first bit of transfer business we have done so far. What's your thoughts and opinions on it? Do you agree with it? Should it be a permanent move? Should he come back in a year's time? Let me know your thoughts and opinions below. And do you think we're now light up top? Do you think we need to bring in another striker? Well, you're hopefully sharing your thoughts on a lot of those questions that are fired to you. I'll move to the second part of today's video, and the second part of transfer business we've done, which of course is another loan, and this time it's our boy Katic. That's right, people, the loan move that I've been sitting saying right here on the channel has been coming for the last 2 months is finally here, so I can stop mentioning it every single week on the old previews. And listen, I know a lot of people's going to be very disappointed at this because of what that big man means to us, because we've already talked about the relationship with the fans and with Cedric Itten, but Big Katic just has a special place in our heart, and after the injury and everything, everybody wanted him back into the setup right away. But it's not a computer game, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? This man was out for an entire year of his career, just gone like that, not being able to do anything, no doing that. They can't just come back like it's Football Manager or FIFA and they go back to being what they were right away. It does take a long time, and we've seen that over the summer with the amount of work that he's had to put in. Yes, he's got one cameo in the Rangers shirt, but I think that was just to give him the appreciation of the fans, and they certainly got that. It was a brilliant reception he got, and he's been working really hard for the Rangers B team as well, getting minutes, getting games, and they've just been building his way up and up to where he is right now. An opportunity to go and play some fit, because he's fully fit, he's ready, he just needs that valuable thing, and that is minutes on the park, and he can't get it here to consistently get him back to where he was. So Rangers has found the best possible place for him, and for me, this loan right here is absolutely sensational. And that might catch people off by surprise, either when they've seen a name or anything like that, but he's away joining Hajduk, and they are actually joint top of the all league. I know it says they're third in the Croatian top flight, but they're actually on the exact same amount of points. It's just down to old goal differences. And this is a team that is built on winning games of football. This is a team that's got aspirations of winning things. This is a team that is going to be fighting all the way tooth and nail, and that's the exact type of environment we need Katic getting back used to and back playing in. And with the way that their transfers have went this season, they need Katic just like we need Katic to get game time. And for me, that's absolutely sensational. I know some people wanted them to play in Scotland and potentially take points of this team and this team, but for me, the environment he's now in terms of needing to win, needing to keep clean sheets, is exactly spot on where he is. And you know, son, you talk about going round full circles and what goes around comes around. This team actually rejected Katic when Big Katic was a young man, so it's quite fitting now that he's gone back there and they need him quite badly. So that must feel good for him as well, being able to go in there with his chest out and say, "Yous need me now," and that's brilliant. And again, just like we mentioned with Big Cedric Itten, I want this laddie to nail every single bit of this loan, because where there's questions about Cedric Itten's future, is it at Rangers, is it not, there is no question about Katic. No matter what this dirt paper does, this half-hack and this bitter idiot says right over here, ladies and gentlemen, this man's future is at Rangers. But didn't take this idiot's face either for it, ladies and gentlemen. No, you heard Steven Gerrard when he rubbished the thought of him being sold and him not being a part of the plans. Gerrard just 2 weeks ago confirmed Katic is a part of Rangers' plan, and this loan move that was coming is a part of that journey to get him back up the road, back at Ibrox and Dane. Big boy Katic Hings. So I am so happy for the big man. I think it's really going to work out. And listen, these are two players now that's gone out on loan, and listen, there's going to be a lot more, but we're going to keep a real eye on these two. So make sure to be checking out the loan review series that we do every couple of weeks to give you an update. So if you want to find out how they're doing, make sure to be checking out the odd channel whenever we do the loan review series. But the last thing we need to mention about the loan, again, there is a recall option. So if we do want Big Katic back, etc. in January, we can do that. But again, confirmation, there is no option to buy for this one, because Katic's future is with this right here. But aye, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the first two players that's going to be leaving the football club and has officially left the football club today. Now it's time for you guys to share your opinions on not only Big Ced, but also Big Katic. So where's your heads at? What you thinking? Make sure to let me know down there in the comment section below. And again, I will see you next time now after that window closes. I might go live before it as well. Stay tuned to the old channel. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been sieging over into that right there has been awake Rocky Boy Johnson, staring at me wondering why I'm talking to myself. But I am out of here. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time, and bye.